Nvidia just released their new platform. I've been messing around with it. It's got dozens of open source models on here. It's got some other models that aren't even released to the public yet that you can try out. Getty Images, really, really amazing image generator. Shutterstock, Edify 3D early access. This isn't even out for the public, and I'm going to be showing you that today. For example, this is the Shutterstock text to 3D model, Gen 3D API. And if you want to use this, you have to join the waitlist, right? And it's already on the Nvidia platform that you can use right now. So let's go ahead and try this out. Let's do Bitcoin. I like my Bitcoin symbol on a golden coin. As you can see right here, 49 out of 50 requests. So this is daily. Every day you can come on here and make 50 different generations. So this is the output that we got from that Bitcoin coin. Not bad. I mean, it's pretty cool. If you think about gold coins, what games are those on, right? Some ancient type of games, some fantasy games. So the gold coins are probably usually tarnished. So it's taken a lot from that probably in its training data. But with this model, what's really cool, first of all, you can see all the different sides. It gives you all of that, but you can refine it. So now it's going to go back and do a refined model. This just shows you where we're already at in text to 3D, fully generated with a single prompt, Bitcoin symbol on a golden coin. All right, so it is now done. But anyway, so that is only one of the models on here. There's another really great model that I haven't seen before, and that's Getty Images. So there's this example right here, which is really, really cool. But let's go ahead and put something else in here. Sunset over a beautiful beach in the tropics. White sand, lush vegetation, pink and orange hues on the horizon. All right, let's take a look at what this does with our pretty basic prompt. Not a lot of descriptors, but we'll see. Bam. I mean, look at that. Those are some beautiful generations. We didn't have to go into depth about realistic, photorealism. We didn't have to do any of that stuff that you'd probably want to do in some other generators, especially like Stable Diffusion, a bit on Midjourney. But I think it nailed it. The white sand, pink, orange hues on the horizon, pink, orange, right? Sunset, beautiful white sand beach, lush vegetation. Same right here. This is killer. These are all very good generations. And again, you get 50 of these every day. You can also come in here. You could do your negative prompts. You got illustration, photography. Let's go to illustration. Let's run that one time. I mean, okay. It's an illustration. It's something out of one of those YouTube kids shows. Yeah, I mean, cool. Let's go back, see what else we can play around with. So there's Stable Diffusion 3. Sure, you guys have seen Stable Diffusion 3 by now, but let's go ahead and just say, let's do a lo-fi hip hop YouTube banner. So, and with Stable Diffusion 3, you don't actually want to give a list of short, choppy descriptors. You want to give longer sentences because it has better reasoning and logic capabilities. So you get better output. What's steps at? 50? 50's a little high. I mean, maybe that's their model, but 50's a little high. Config. Oh, that's cool. I'm going to bring that down to 4. You don't need as high for Stable Diffusion 3. 16.9 looks good. All right, we'll run that bad boy. Let's see what it does. Validation provided input produces not safe for work content. Does it? YouTube banner that's set on a synthwave background with pink and orange, a sandy beach in the foreground. Let's try to run it again. Maybe that was a false. There it is. Lo-fi and chill. A little misspelling. Let's run it one more time. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Lo-fi and chill. Boom. You throw this into Photoshop. You do some in-painting, highlight that, in-paint that. You're good to go. You have yourself a banner for YouTube pretty quickly there. Done. Throw that also into Luma, and you get yourself some pretty cool outputs. So anyway, cool stuff. Let's go to the next. Let's see. Stable Diffusion XL, been there, done that. But yeah, so these are all of the different models, SDXL Turbo, that they have for generation. We've shown Getty Images, Shutterstock, and they have a lot of SDXL and Stable Diffusion models as well. Cool. So they have their reasoning models, right? Their LLMs. They have Meta 70B Instruct, run anywhere. They have all of the code right here. You can get your API key right there. You just click that, and then you could run this, put it into your code, and you get some free credits. But if you sign up with a company email, I think you get 5,000 free credits, which is like 5,000 API calls, 5,000 for their LLMs API calls. I think it takes a bit more for some of the image generation, etc. I think it takes like 20 credits per image generation, something like that. So it differs, but 5,000 API calls for their LLMs. And you can come down here. Let's just write a limerick about the wonders of, you guys know about this. Oh, I did quit. Hold on. Hopefully let's reset that, do it one more time. Pretty fast. It's Llama 70B. It's also on Nvidia's probably top of the line models of their GPUs. There you go. Pretty cool. Nothing groundbreaking here. The main thing that's cool about this, not so much about the Llama 70B, that's cool, but it's just all of these different models, right? You have access to Nvidia's new Nematron large model, which is 340B, which is absolutely insane. It's a pretty good model. It's not top of the line. It is definitely a frontier model, but this model is specifically designed for training other smaller LLMs. So it's designed to create high quality synthetic data, which is really cool. We could get into that another time. Gemma, Google just released this also on their Google Cloud API, but the Gemma models are here. Phi 3, this is actually really cool. Phi 3 is a really, really cool model, really good at vision, especially for its size, and it has 128K context window, so pretty dope. So let's just upload one of these, right? So this is an image I used on one of my posts on LinkedIn the other day, and so we'll run that. It's a pretty fast model too. Obviously, it's running on Nvidia's GPUs. The image features a red hot air balloon against a black background. The balloon is depicted in a detailed, realistic style, with intricate lines and shading that give it three-dimensional appearance. The balloon is centered in the image with its long, narrow shape stretching from the top to the bottom of the frame. That's not entirely accurate, right? So hallucinates a little bit. It is a very small model, so it's not as performant as GPT-4o or Claude 3.5 Sonnet. Obviously, those are the best. This isn't going to be as performant, but it will get the gist of the image. So it still could be very good at moderation, for example. It could still be good at a lot of different tasks. You just want to put this in any probably creative workflow, but it could still be part of a creative workflow if done correctly. But the word serendipity is prominently displayed in bold, white letters in the upper left corner of the image. Obviously, that's not correct either. The font is modern and sans serif, which contrasts with the traditional ornate style of the balloon. The juxtaposition creates a striking visual effect. In the bottom right corner, the phrase "enjoy the ride" is written in smaller white letters. So it's also not bottom right, right? So it gets a lot of things wrong. And that's probably because I gave it some analytical prompt, which this is a small model and it's not really good at that. So let's just try to redo this. And I just want to say, what is this image, right? So we'll take off the in-depth kind of prompting and just run it to get a general idea. And this should be pretty dead on. There you go. Enlarge. See, and this gets it right because we didn't confuse it with in-depth prompt, right? So the image is graphic design that features the title serendipity and large red letters at the top. Last one said white, right? So this is more correct. A red hot air balloon centered below it, and the phrase "enjoy the ride" at the bottom. The background is black, and there are white lines emanating from the balloon, suggesting motion. The logo JD Turner is also present at the bottom right corner. So it still had a little, right? It's not white lines, it's red lines, right? So there's still some incorrect kind of hallucinations here, but it got, I'd say 95% of it correct. Whereas when you wanted to prompt it a bit more in depth previously, it got a lot more wrong. So this is where it also comes when you're working with these different models. You really need to understand the size, the limitations, need to understand what their use could be in a workflow, and then put them in for those use cases because you'll save a lot of money. And they work. They work for very specific use cases. You just have to figure those out for your specific workflow and what could work for you and what you're doing. So that's cool. All in one kind of platform here, right? So it's really cool. Nematron 4340 reward. This is a really cool model. Actually, what's really dope about the model, I don't want to, I'm going to nerd out in this video. I don't want to. I was trying to just do an overview. I'm just a big nerd about this stuff. So like when I see these things, it's all cool to me. It's all so cool. So like the reward model is really, really dope on how it works because it actually gives model scoring on its output. And this is how it helps train smaller LLMs, because you can run through a lot of synthetic data and it's going to score it and help you actually get much higher quality data sets for your training of your own custom LLMs, helpfulness, correctness, coherence, complexity, verbosity, right? And so you could do a lot of code around setting it up so you can generate lots of synthetic data with whatever you're trying to generate. You can get these and then you can kind of rank them by the actual scoring, and then you can only pick the best of the output to go into your training data. So it's pretty cool. I dig it. I mean, it's a really unique way of doing this. It's the first one of its kind to kind of do this, as far as I'm aware, at least open source. We've already seen great quality in open source, obviously, but this is going to help a lot of open source developers come up with their own models. I'm definitely going to be giving it a shot as well, coming up with some cool models. So there we go. Bam, bam, bam. Pretty cool. So that's your reasoning. That's your LLMs. Pretty cool stuff. Has a lot of different models here. I'll just show you kind of all of the models that they have. So these are all the models. It didn't even show them all right there, right? Those are all the different models. It has Mistral, Microsoft 5.3, Snowflake, Arctic, Microsoft models, Meta models. I can't wait for the large Llama 3 model to be released open source. I'm sure Nvidia is going to put it on here. You got your IBM models, Databricks. That's a pretty solid model. Starcoder. It's a good model for its size. Yeah, lots of cool stuff. This is really cool. So I'm really stoked about this. I can't wait to give this a shot. So check this out. It's a little model. It's an Nvidia model. It's called Parakeet. 0.6 billion, right? So this could be ran on your phone. This could be ran anywhere. I mean, you could put it on Raspberry Pi. You could put this on really anything you want to put this on. It's such a small model and it's super performant. Check this out. Watch this. Hello. This is a really cool model. It's very fast. It can transcribe what I'm saying almost as fast as I'm saying it. So if you were to put this in, I don't know, chatbots that respond with speech, you could probably have pretty fast reaction time with whatever speech-based chatbot you want to create. Bam, 30 seconds. And look, I mean, it had it all, right? And it got it. I think this is a really cool model. It's very fast. It can transcribe what I'm saying almost as fast as I'm saying it. Very cool. Very, very cool stuff. I'm really stoked about that. I can't wait to dig in. I already have a subscription that I'm going to cancel once I dig into that. So also they have embeddings here. For any of you non-developers, this might be not something that you're too interested in. Maybe all of what I've been talking about, you might not be too interested in if you're not a developer. But once again, I'm a huge nerd about this stuff. So the embedding models, basically they work with vector databases, right? It's how you do any type of RAG, retrieval augmented generation. You would break down whatever data that you want to embed into your vector database for easy retrieval from your agents, from whatever LLM you're working with, right? To augment the LLMs that you're working with on real-time data, with industry-specific data, maybe organization-specific data, maybe your personal data, whatever it is. This is what you use to break down that information, put it into a vector, and then store it. After these embedding models break it down into vectors, you would then store it in some type of vector database like Pinecone or something. There's some other open source ones that you can use too. That's all local. There's a lot of ways you can break that down. But it's pretty cool. I'm not going to dig into this too much here, but they have them here. And they have their own models. They have a couple of their own models. They have a Snowflake model. They have a BAAI, which I'm not sure who that is, what that is, but they have a few different type of models here, which is really, really cool. Bam. We did the speech. And they have like other things that I haven't even dug into because it's just beyond my scope of what I'm interested in. I mean, I'm definitely interested in AI and biology, but I wouldn't even know where to begin with this stuff. I'm not a biologist. I don't know how to do protein backbones for protein binder designs. I don't even know what that means, but they have it here, right? So they have all of these models that can be used. Audio to face. Let's check this out. Select audio sample. Let's render. Let's run it.
With tenure, Susie'd have all the more leisure for yachting, but her publications are no good.
That's cool. Let's do clear. Now we've seen some other already really cool audio to face models come out specifically in the last couple weeks that I think give this a run for its money. But this isn't specifically just for like 2D. This is obviously 3D models that will now be rigged and speak with the audio, which is why this says it's for gaming, right? Because 3D models. Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's cool. It's nothing that wows me. I'm sure if you had some more texture on their skin and like that photo right there, it looked pretty cool. But gaming, what else? Healthcare. So we already talked about that. This is really cool, medical imaging. So I checked this out a bit. Not going to go into it, but it looks like it does scans. I'm not a medical person, so I don't really, know exactly what. But I took a look, and it like highlights different parts of the anatomy. You can tell the AI I'm looking for this, so you can easily spot it when you're looking at it, which I guess for professionals that are looking at these every day, hundreds of times a day, it probably saves them a bit of time, saves them a bit of mental acuity. Your eyes don't have to constantly be looking. So it probably saves some of that compute power of your brain to actually think about different things while you're looking at the image instead of just trying to pinpoint what you are actually looking at, which is cool. I dig that. I'm sure for like really experienced people that have done it for years, it's not that big of a deal. Their brains are already attuned to that, so they just like see it. But for newbies, I'm pretty sure that this helps out a lot, and it might help out professionals. I don't know. I'm not one of them, so who knows? Genomics, don't know how you pronounce that, but there's models for that. Industrial, all sorts of stuff, man. It just keeps going. AI weather forecasting. So that's the world, that's the output. Surface wind speed. Let's see what else you can do. Total geopotential, HPA, sea level pressure, surface wind speed, surface temperature. Let's say surface temperature, supercyclonic storm, typhoon. I don't know what all this is, so I'm not going to mess with it because I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm just being honest. I don't know how to mess with this. But somebody that knows what this means and what this is actually used for probably can find some use from this. And it's here and it's available for you to dig in and start messing around with. So I love that Nvidia is really opening up their models and what they have in their training and their data sets to people, to developers. I love that they are allowing inference directly on their platform. I love that they're opening up these API endpoints for developers to mess around with. I love that they're giving thousands of credits, API calls for free to developers to mess around with. I know I'm going to be putting those to use. Go ahead and give it a shot. Just head over to build.nvidia.com, sign up, use a company email address. You get 5,000 free credits. And even if you don't use your company email address, you get 1,000 free credits for signing up. And then you can also just mess around directly on the platform with those free daily generations. And you don't even need to mess with the API. You can just give it a shot, have some fun. There's a lot of different ways you can have some fun on here, generate some things, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Anyway, thank you so much for spending all of this time watching this video with me. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any questions, leave them below. Shoot me a DM. Would love to hear from you. Would love to hear your thoughts. Thank you, guys. Have a great day, great week, great weekend, great month, great year. See you again soon. Bye.